Hi there. It's been a couple of days, right? No. Um, I was reminded by a nice young man about using dish soap in my cast iron. See, I'd gotten my granddaughter and her husband some cleaning products for their cast iron. And when I talked about it to them, I said, he's like, well, how do you wash it? And I said, well, I use soap and water. And he goes, but doesn't soap take away the seasoning? And I went against all the rules. I I used to not use dish soap, and now I did. I totally had so much more problems with my cast iron. I know better, but someone had said, "Yeah, you can use dish soap," but I think I overused the dish soap. And since the end of December, I stopped using dish soap. I use hot water. I use a really fine scrubbing washcloth, and occasionally I might use a stainless steel pad for it. But I want to show you this, if you can see, is one of my cast irons, and I'm not really thrilled with it. The two that I use the most in my house are this one. I actually cook eggs on it and other things, and I also do this one. And you see how that's got that line? But I love this one for making my fried potatoes and scrambled eggs and things like that. But I stopped using dish soap. And now I'm getting back to the ability to clean them, dry them, and then what I do is I'm going to put lard in there to oil them. And then I make sure that they're heated and dried the way they're supposed to be, because I was taking off that wonderful finish that we had on our cast iron because I was silly and not thinking. I've listened to Kent Rollins on how he does his. He's on YouTube. We'll put the link in the description. But the more that I thought about it, my grandson-in-law, Ben, was right. I took the finish off of my cast iron, and I'm kicking myself now because now I have to play catch up to try to get it back to where it used to be. If you're going to use soap on your cast iron, do it sparingly. Some of the websites will tell you, or some information on Google or whatever app you're using, they'll tell you that you can use dish soap. But remember, dish soap, especially the one I use, it's blue, stripped away all the oil. And yes, you should technically be using it and checking it and reseasoning your cast irons every 6 months to a year. I mean, I use these specifically. And Ken likes to use the cast iron Dutch ovens for baking bread. So I know that I have a job for me to do when he's ready that I'll take and I'll reseason them. But when I have this many, I have some stainless steel, but I have cast iron that I use all the time. This one is one that's, it's okay. But look at it. It needs some help. So I can make 1 or 2 eggs in this one, but I don't use it that often. So I'm going to be going back to not washing with soap, using my lard. It tells you vegetable oil or canola oil, but you know that stuff is bad, right? So some say flaxseed oil, something with a lower smoke temperature. Go back to what your grandma used. Grandma didn't have all that stuff. She used lard. Sometimes, well, when I'm cooking, I throw butter on here. I want to get this back to that point where I can just flip an egg without a spatula. So that's where I'm at. I want to say thank you, Ben. Thank you, Lily, for reminding me to get back to those old ways and preserve my cast iron for the future. Makes it so much easier, so much nicer when you're not fussing and fighting with your cast iron and you take care of it properly. So again, a reminder, do not use soap if you have to, if you can't. I mean, sometimes you just have to get that out. Another one that I remembered was, if you're going to use tomato, you're going to make something with tomatoes, make sure you rinse out your cast iron, because that too will take away that oil from the pan because it's acidic. Anyway, if you have any questions, drop me a comment. If you have any advice, drop me a comment. I'm more than happy to talk. But yeah, take care of that cast iron. Get it seasoned properly, and take care of it for the generations to come. You can pass these babies down to your kids, to your grandkids, and you never know what's going to happen. But remember, do the thing that Grandma did. Use that lard. Take care of those pans, and happy cooking.